Hey, it's Bert here, and welcome to my first accessible gaming Let's Play. Today I want to show you how you can play the charming little game Train Valley using an accessibility tool called GlovePIE. Now I really love this game because it reminds me a lot of my childhood. When I was growing up, I used to play with a little wooden train set called Brio. As I got older and my disability deteriorated, it got harder and harder to play with this toy. I also could not really advance to electric train sets and that sort of thing. I thought this was one of those things I was going to have to live with losing. Then I started playing video games and realised I could still enjoy some of those things. I tried Transport Tycoon, but that was one of those games where I could not get my head around that. So I sort of gave up on trains. And then I found this game. It reminded me so much of the good old days. It gave me a real feeling of nostalgia. One of the best things about this game for me is the fact that you can pretty much get away with playing it with just a mouse. For me though, I still need to use GlovePIE. In order to lay down tracks, send more trains, pause the game, change the speed and that sort of thing, you have two choices. You can use a keyboard shortcut, or you can drag the mouse all the way over to a corner of the screen, click the button, move it all the way back to the middle of the screen, lay down your track, go all the way back up to a corner and start the game again. Now, if you have a problem moving the mouse all over the screen, it can be a bit of a struggle. So I use GlovePIE to take away the need to move the mouse all over the place. Now, I'm going to demonstrate my script, but before I do that, I'd like to point out one of the accessibility features that comes with the game. If you go into settings here, and you'll see colorblind mode. Now, apparently, I'm colourblind. Now, it's never really been a problem in my life, except for in this game for some reason. When a train is trying to tell you what station it needs to go to, it would give you a colour, and you would have to match that colour with the colour of the train station. Then when you start adding loads and loads and loads of train stations, it gets a little bit confusing and I was sent the train to the wrong station over time. But if you have colourblind mode enabled, it gives you a letter instead, and that makes it much easier to distinguish what station you've got to send what train to. So I'm just going to switch windows and bring up GlovePIE and just show you the script that I used to play this game. So this is my GlovePIE script for Train Valley. What this is basically saying is if you press the right mouse button, the computer will think that you have pressed W and space. Now in the game Train Valley, W is the key you press to lay down tracks and space is the one that pauses. So now when I press the right mouse button, the game pauses, and whilst it's paused, I can then select my tracks and put them where I want, or change lines and all that sort of stuff. Now, there are other keyboard commands to delete tracks, to increase and decrease speed, and to release trains. But you don't really release trains or increase your speed that often, especially if you played it with accessibility needs like mine. There are a few achievements that you can get for releasing more trains, but there's not that many of them, so it's not too difficult to move a mouse all the way up to the top and click. That's not a problem at all, just for the amount of times you actually do it. However, if you do feel that you need more buttons, you can use a switch interface box or you can use voice commands. However, for me, that's not something that I really need in this game. I think later on in the game, there's an achievement you can get for completing a level without actually pausing. Now, if you're really determined to get that achievement, you just have to comment out that you have to take it easy, but you should be able to do it fine. I think that's about it for the GlovePIE script. There's nothing else I can really tell you. Regarding the achievements in the game, I'm not intending to go through the game and get all of it. I'm just going to try and do the best I can each level. When I've played this game for real, I don't generally get all the achievements in one sitting anyway, and I can't imagine you want to see me do that over and over again. As I said before in one of my previous videos, this isn't a YouTube channel dedicated to how to play games well. It's just how you can actually play them with a disability. So that's the goal. And in the next video, I'll move on to level 1, stage 1, Holland. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.